To push it takes some time for hate. Never take a second of bullshit. Make them come at you straight. Somebody will catch you running, coming from a vegetable fate. Everybody has a purpose, something that can deviate. Feed the adrenaline. Keep coming back again. Till the end, I'm turning venomous. Feed me adrenaline. Lately I can see the colors changing my invisible face. I can feel you hold me under. Nobody can feel the play. Coming just a little closer. Let me feel the breath on me. I'll tie you up for the reason. You're someone I will always miss. Feed me adrenaline. Keep coming back again. Feed me until the end. I'm turning venomous. Feed me adrenaline. that you can't give, retracing all these lives. This is different, it's uncontrolled and breeding. I can't just fix this, there's something else persistent. Love is never easy to love again, to find your reason to pretend. Love is never easy to start again, go find your meaning. I've been living a long time for this day to come, and you wasted it all away. I keep dreaming of emptiness and your face. Maybe I never say. Love is never easy to love again, to find your reason to pretend. Love is never easy to start again, go find your meaning. That's all right. That's all right. I feel like I'm running, getting nowhere. Can't stop staring at the pictures in my head. I listen to the words that you told me, holding on till the end. Now you're way too far to keep from falling over. And if who you are, it's always getting in the way. I can't wait until everything goes crashing on you. Tell me who will save you now. It's not fate, 'cause I know that I can't live without you. I don't want it anymore, this heart of war. I'm tired of living on a battlefield, fighting every moment to erase it all. Seems like I'm always on the defense, doesn't matter anymore. Now you're way too far to keep from falling over. And if who you are is always getting in the way. I can't wait until everything goes crashing on you. Tell me who will save you now. It's not fate, 'cause I know that I can't live without you. I don't want it anymore, this heart of war.
What are you doing here?
You're jealous. 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 You must be doing something wrong.
How can you be so ungrateful? How do you talk about me behind my back?
Jealous. Jealous. Jealous.
Because I'm afraid of the dark.
You know I love you, don't you?
Who are you?
Joe Weak.
No. Talking.
Jealous. Jealous.
What are you doing here?
From far away, but you always knew you'd be the one to work while they all play. And you lay awake at night and scheme of all the things that you would change, but it was just a dream.
We are the warriors who between them and me. With all of our hearts, it pulls me in without a doubt or second chance. And both of us will make our way without them. And when you find your light, your demons will start to fade. This will soon be over, and I will have saved another life. We'll do things right. I'm on my way, but all you say is that we can't do this. But I swear I'll keep you true to my heart. True to my heart.
it aside, but I was looking for you. I'm always looking for you. I brushed it off, pushed it aside, but I couldn't help. I was looking for you. Yeah, I was looking for you. I have a hand surrounded. I am the silence in the room. Just a figure in the dark. It's the coming for the storm. If I fall, you catch me. Push me back up on my feet. See the strength inside of me. A burning fire that I am a hand surrounded. I am the silence in the room. Just a figure in the dark. This is the calm before the storm. If I fall, you catch me. Push me back up on my feet. Be the strength inside of me. A burning fire that you face. Questions, no doubts. You got me figured out. I'm standing tall because I've got you right here by my side. Hurting all the ones you played. The truth won't ever be the same. Looking for a sign of hope, a light inside to help you cope. Take me away from this place, something to slow the pace. Tell me why you cannot see. It's not my fault to pull your finger at me. Now it's time to be. You're not the one for me. You keep pushing me away. Need something to numb the pain. You're holding me under, making me stop for a while away. You keep pushing me away. I can't take another day. I feel broken, leading me on to go astray. You're gone. I'm done. Trust I had is spread and torn, not to be filled with pain. It's gone. Nothing you gain. Selfishness the source of your pain. Now it's time to be. You're not the one for me. You keep pushing me away. Need something to numb the pain. You're holding me under, making me stop for a while away. You keep pushing me away. I can't take another day. I feel broken, leading me on to go astray. You keep pushing me away. You keep pushing me away. You keep pushing me away. Pushing me away, keep pushing me away, keep pushing me away, keep pushing You keep pushing me away. Need something to numb the pain.
I'm crawling under the city of angels. I'm further from my own. The lights grow stronger, the fight moves under. I'm breaking under fire. No one will hold you, hold you. Every time I look into your eyes, I see this angel deep inside. You've gone away, so far away from me. A special engagement. She lights up the pavement. She pays her till to the throne. She calls a man on the phone and says, I'm not coming home. Another lonely soul to please. You told me it's what you want. Every time I look into your eyes, I see this angel deep inside. You've gone away, so far away. Every day I seem to realize you save me from this fight inside. You've gone away, so far away from me. Keep holding on to me. I don't know what went wrong. I can't believe she's gone. I can't breathe now that you're gone.
Shortcuts. Oh, why is this? Come on. Sunflowers. Well, hey guys, I hope everybody can hear us. I think we've got picture, we've got sound, we've got everything.
Okay.
How are you doing, Mr. Hayes?
Yes, I'm great. Very excited to be behind the microphone once again for the game of Counter-Strike Global Offensive, and what a way to kick it off. I mean, we've got ourselves a school game here, Mike. Did you ever think we'd be sitting side by side casting a high school game?
No, I mean, let's also just put this in context.
Yeah.
The last time we casted together, we did ESL Africa, and it was some big games, you know?
North Africa and South Africa teams up against one another, not directly against each other, but within their own regions. And now we are down to the grassroots, and I think this is great, personally, covering this level of CS in our country. As we see, we have got NHS up against Rob Ferreira, and it is going to be NHS to find the first frag of the round. Rob Ferreira looking to make their way towards the A-bomb site here. All 5 players actually coming through ramp, and it's just a really nice contact play coming out from them, finding the shots that they need to be. Only 2 players left, make that 1 player remaining for NHS.
Crazy crack in the last man left alive, and he's probably not going to be alive for much longer. They know exactly where he is. They're sniffing him out here, and if he gets any kills here, he's going to be lucky, and he's not going to be that lucky.
Yeah, Matty starting off there with the 3k, and he is going to be the MVP of this game. You can just tell from his name alone, as he started off well here.
Just for context, yeah, Hayes' name is Matt. So, and I'm Mike, I'm Extremes. Thanks for joining us, guys. Thanks for all your patience. Of course, some of the players did have some issues with joining the server and some headset issues and stuff, so it did delay us a little bit. We do apologize for that, but we are here to cover the Derby game, and it's the first of its kind that I know of, so really excited to go. Mirage.
Have a look at this, Mike. I mean, naturally we wouldn't be expecting the highest caliber of Counter-Strike coming out from these guys. But I just want to point out that NHS have gone for a full eco here in the second round as the counter-terrorists. They are investing in their first buy round by keeping that extra money for some equipment and making sure they've got those kits where, I mean, to be fair, I was expecting maybe a little bit more aggressive Counter-Strike coming out from these teams. So that's an interesting thing to point out at the start of the game here.
Just making hard work of that.
Yeah, well, making hard work of the frag, but not too hard work of the round, as they have got 3 guys left alive, bomb down, and Dynamite Dropper is going to be dropping as well. So, going to be going into the third round. 1 more eco here to go for the CTs, as Still a couple of SMGs here to work with. So just going to be building up the economy now, or for now rather, for Rob Ferreira High School. Of course, guys, if you didn't catch this, this is a derby day. I believe these guys are all playing from one school as well, which is really cool. I'm not sure how accurate that is, but I think that is the case.
I think they're playing for the Elite Pro HQ, maybe. I don't actually know. Maybe somebody could tell us, but just let us know if which is very low. Is it our microphone or is it the game audio? If it is, I've upped the microphone a bit, and just let us know if there are any issues. But anyway, going in here, pistol buy against the full buy. They shouldn't be able to get much, but there's still a kill.
Yeah, nice one by him, Mr. Dynamite Dropper coming through there. He gets himself a second from Palace. For some reason, they just turn their attention from him. Matty does clean up, and he does actually pick up a second, but things are becoming very awkward for them. There's a lineup there. Crazy Kraken takes down one. He brings himself to the 1v1, and he decides to go for the repositioning. Good decision by him. Bomb has been dropped. Easy zone, or E-zone rather. Going to make a play here as he's faking out the plant at default, hoping for the CT peak, but I actually really like the position that Crazy Kraken's gone for here. Going all the way back to connector, and the timing just going to work out for Easy Zone, or E-Zone again. It looks like Crazy Kraken doesn't have a gun just yet. Unfortunately, still only that P250 to work with, jumping across the Tetris. He does spot him out in Palace now, so the jig is up. Of course, E-Zone doesn't have any interest in peeking out here, really just needs to let the clock run down. No kit either for the kind of terrorist, so E-Zone just going to be biding his time, peeks out nicely, takes the frag, and that's going to be Rob Ferreira cleaning up 3-0.
Yeah, that's a really emphatic start for them. I think that's what they would have wanted. In NHS now, with the full buy, of course, they had to save there because they didn't manage to win the pistol round. They took some pain in the subsequent rounds. One of the pluses for them, though, is that they kept the economy in check there of Rob Ferreira. So, yeah they're in with a shot. Double AWP on T-side. Is that a good idea?
I can't tell you whether it's a good idea or a bad idea, but I can tell you that it's not an idea many teams adopt. So let's see how it works out for them. Incredibly aggressive up middle here. Matty not wasting any time. He finds the snipers player, and he's going to be continuing forward towards connector and actually dealing a bit of damage onto Dynamite Dropper as well. The friendly Cyborg looking to assist his teammates from catwalk, but there's just no opportunity for him. Finally, he comes in with the frag, but surely it's not going to be enough. The A site's already in complete control of the terrorists.
Yeah, this is not going the way the CTs would have wanted at all. NHS under a lot of pressure here. Double AWP, I wouldn't really say working out because it wasn't really the weapons that were finding the kills.
In fact, neither of them picked up a single kill in that round. So just from the outset here, you can see that there's been quite a lot of aggression from this Rob Ferreira team. Something that I've noticed is they do seem to enjoy sticking right up against each other, making sure that their game may not be entirely tactfully sound, but they are playing that trade frag and making sure that they're pushing through, covering one another, and that's really the basics of Counter-Strike, and you can find decent results based off that play style alone.
Absolutely, that's a good way to go. Trading is one of the fundamentals of CS. If your teammate goes down, you want to get a kill in response to keep the numbers even. And that's some sound CS coming out. So, of course, we didn't know what sort of level of CS to expect here, so it's good to see that the guys have got some of the fundamentals down. And of course, we're kind of used to some of the higher echelons.
Yeah.
So for us, this is a new experience. We hope you guys are enjoying the experience. Again, thanks to everybody who's joined. And please let us know if the sound is okay. We are using a slightly compromised setup for this. So we weren't 100% sure that everything's okay. So please let us know. Is the mic volume okay? Can you hear the in-game sounds? We can adjust it if need be.
Yeah. So we do have, looks like a bit of a, okay, Rob, or rather NHS, excuse me, haven't invested into this round, so by the looks of things they are going to be saving for the next. They're just keeping the couple of weapons that they did save up, and it is going to be Mr. Ambassador trying to lock down the A bomb site by himself. Once again, there is a contingency of 3 players coming through the ramp area, as they're actually struggling to deal with the player on the bomb site here. They're trying to buy a bit of time for the players to come through connector. Matty finding another frag there. Crazy Kraken does come back with one of his own, but there's too much pressure now being applied from the A bomb sites, and that's going to leave Mr. Crazy Kraken all by his lonesome. It's actually a doable situation. He's got a kit, he has some equipment to work with, and he has armor with the rifle. Just not in a position to really get anything going, as it looks like he's going to be looking for the save once again here.
Poor guy. He's got the name, says Crazy Kraken. You'd expect him to run in there and fight about it, but just not in the position to do anything about it. I want to see him do something crazy. Just go flying out the window, man.
He's just holding back a little bit later in the game. We've got Dust 2 coming up. That's his playground. You can just tell already by the name. So he's going to be sitting in pit. That's like where the Krakens lurk.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
down in the deep.
depths, exactly.
So it looks like it's going to be 5-0, absolutely certain, unless the server crashes and they don't decide to continue the game. But we do again thank you for joining us, guys. I know some of you that are watching are possibly parents of some of these players, so thanks for supporting your kids. And if we're not explaining anything correctly, please let us know.
Yeah, don't be afraid to ask questions in chat. And I mean, if there are any parents, like Mike said, this is the future of potentially your kids. I mean, at least we have seen kids growing up and finding careers in this game, some moving overseas and going off of the natural course in which you would expect a student to go and study or whatever, but actually playing games competitively. Anyway, let's get into the first buy round here, as we got a triple AWP for the terrorists now. So
Again?
if 2 wasn't enough, now it's 3.
Sound, not a sound aspect. Really, I wouldn't really go triple AWP on T side. It kind of limits your ability to move quickly onto a bomb site, and especially if you need to get those trade kills, it makes it a little difficult. Now, probing around on the bomb site here, friendly Cyborg didn't know how close he came to encountering an AWP there, but
Yep.
we've got Esteban. He's on the angle. He spotted him.
Yeah, he's got as you said, he's got the angle, and he is going to get the shot onto E-Zone as well. Finally, something going in the favor of NHS at the start of the round here. They've got the one-man advantage. Jaws is going to be looking to make the play. Unfortunately, Sins is going to be going down. Warbirdie does finally come back with one of his own. There's a lineup, and Jaws is going to be missing his shot with that AWP, and there is only one of the 3 remaining now. Matty with 45 seconds left on the clock, the 1v4. Certainly an unfavorable situation.
Yeah, and finally around here for the CTs, NHS getting on the board, which I'm sure the home fans would like. So good to see them striking back, but still quite a long way to go, I think, to stabilize the economy. Money is a big issue in a game like Counter-Strike. You need to build the economy. Ooh, spotted out as Matty. He's still standing in the open, though. That could be dangerous.
Yeah, this guy's quite brazen, as we've learned in the past 5 rounds. He's not afraid to take contact, and he's fairly confident in his ability, which is a very good base to work off of as a player, being confident in yourself, because very often you're going to come into those 1v1 duels, and confidence is the difference between the 2 players. As you said, Counter-Terrorists picking up their first round of many. They would hope. Their economy not in the best situation, so it's going to be really important for them to pick up a couple in a row here and just start to push back the likes of the 16k on E-Zone.
Jeez.
Yeah, he's got a plethora of weapons in his back pockets at this stage, or potential weapons.
It's interesting there's how much money he has, but how little his teammates do. That's interesting. And they're persisting with the triple AWP, so that's a huge
Okay.
investment.
Wow, that is a massive investment. That's nearly 15k off the bat. So let's see how this works out for them.
Oh.
One of them getting taken down. E-Zone going to be removed by Esteban, the doorman, having no problem showing him out, as Warbirdie is going to be the next one stepping up to the plate. It's got a decent angle onto jungle there. If you can get that angle early on, you may be able to catch the AWP off guard. Esteban not expecting a second AWP in that exact position. He just took a player down. Matty's been able to get into ladder as well. Nice positioning by him, preempting that shot. So it is going to be up to Ambassador to try and make a play, and he does, surviving with 12 HP, but his teammates are dropping like flies. And unfortunately, it looks like they may have the wrong information here, as they are rotating out towards the A bomb site. The counter-terrorists, that is, as the terrorists make their way towards the B bomb site.
Yeah, that's a good call from the T's to actually change the points of contact from that A site, because of all the movement that's been going on there. It's going to keep the CTs there, and that is going to profit towards Matty. He's aware of where the last player is. Ambassador hasn't quite stamped his passport on his way out yet. He's still in the site.
Yeah, he's actually going to be making his way into A now, but Matty's surely going to be getting a couple sound cues here, and he is going to find the frag. So from the outright here, I think it has to be said that Matty has impressed me. I've liked where his crosshair placements has been, and this has nothing to do with the name, I promise. This is just generally as a player. His crosshair placement has been good. His intuition about where players may be, just his corner checking, his identification of where his teammates are covering and what areas he should be going through. Good space being created as well. So just from the first couple of rounds, these are some of the things I've been picking up from him. As we do head into an eco. I don't see what you did there.
I've painted a smiley face.
Oh, okay.
And I think Matty, he is smiling right now. Look
Yeah.
at that. What a great kill. Beautiful entry then. That's also amazing to see when a player is this confident. He's just racking up the kills and destroying NHS. The map choice, of course, is Rob Ferreira's map, so
Okay.
you'd expect them to do well here.
Oh, we got an AFK. It would appear Esteban maybe got a little bit busy. Warbirdie actually lines up the triple and knocks them down. as we actually had a bit of an investment there from Crazy Kraken and Ambassador, while the other 3 players fully saved on the team of NHS. So bit of a miscommunication there, and you're going to see now Crazy Kraken saving with the rest of the team investing. So these guys really seem to be on different wavelengths, and that's something that they're going to have to address.
Yeah, that was a failure in communication, most definitely. But almost feels like this map has spiraled out of control for them here. Sins, well...
Oh,
that was
nice
a shot.
flick. Yeah, Ambassador losing his head and then some. And Ezone going to be looking to continue from that starting point as the site has been opened up. But the friendly Cyborg is not done just yet. Not so friendly, as he does find a kill. But that's all it's going to be at this stage.
Yeah, that didn't work out so well for him there. That was, what, a 6
Yeah,
yeah, he's just blatting away with
hey
his
man,
eagle
it's
there.
all about the end result. He found the kill, and he'll be happy with that. Got a timeout coming through here from one of the teams, so potentially a tactical pause coming through from NHS. Just trying to put a stop to the momentum. I mean, it's a tactic that teams do employ, as you do have a certain amount of timeouts in the game. So what teams like to do... I see Sin pushing through there. He's going to lose his gun.
He's got to save
unfortunately.
that gun. He's got to get out of there.
Yeah, he does, certainly. He'll be able to buy up with the rest of his teammates if he can, but he's in hot pursuit as Mr. Jaws is going to be coming through, and the last bullet on the CZ finds the frag. Going back to my point, though, about the pauses, is this is something teams can use to break the momentum of their opponents. Just by putting a little bit of a break in the game, maybe making them second-guess their opinion or their decision-making, and allow yourself as the pausers to regroup yourselves and maybe just change something up, try and figure out exactly how they've been getting onto the site so easily and see if you can adjust and counter them.
Yeah, they do need to make some kind of change here, because at this point already, just so you guys know, if you don't, it's 15 rounds per half, 30 rounds in total, and it's the first team to 16 to actually win the game. And with 8 on the board there, Rob Ferreira are in the position here that they've already won the half. And on a map like Mirage, you're typically going to see the CT side, not the terrorist side, winning the half. So that's huge news for them. That's fantastic for them that they've got all those rounds already.
Having said that, there is still 6 rounds left in this half, so there is potential for NHS to get back into it, give themselves a fighting chance to go into the second half. I mean, when you do get into these types of games, sometimes you find the terrorist team generally have more success just for the nature of the playstyle, and when there is a lack of communication and teamwork on the CT side, it does actually become a bit difficult.
Yeah, it can. Of course, from our side, we're not that aware really of the relative level of these teams. We're learning with you guys.
Yeah.
We're learning as we go along and watching what these teams are capable of. So it's very likely that perhaps NHS haven't had the time on preparation on this map. And the early kill there. And that was dynamite.
Yeah, unfortunately this time he was the receiver and not the dropper. As that's an interesting molly. Not sure if that actually landed towards Jungle Nut. Unfortunately missing its mark, but the AWP does come through good for 1 frag. It's going to need to get a little bit more work done. Ambassador with the angle there. Oh, great cross cover coming out from Rob Ferreira there, as they are going to be opening up the A bomb site once again. So certainly the favorable bomb site here for this terrorist side, as they've found quite a lot of success here.
Yeah, and situation now is again dire. 3v2 situation. That plant is a little open. It could potentially catch him out. Actually, Sins there doesn't realize how close he came to getting burned there from Catwalk.
Yeah, unfortunately not going to be working out for Mr. Cyborg. Or was that Crazy Kraken? No, it was Cyborg. It was our friendly man. As he makes his way into connector. I'm quite interested to see if they're going to be going for the retake here, and in fact it looks like they will, because they've got a great position and Crazy Kraken, but as he does get dropped, surely that is the be all and end all of the retake, especially considering they know the location of the final player and he's going to get taken down. So unfortunately Elite Pro NHS not going to be able to get back into that round, and that was a really important one for them to try and salvage something this half.
Yeah, that is just so terrible for them. I think if they won that, they could maybe start to build an innings. The problem for them is the only round that they got, they immediately lost thereafter. And you get something called loss bonus in this, where as you lose consecutive rounds, you get more money to try to help you to get back in the game. And if you win one round, that is gone.
Yeah.
And I think that's really caught them in that entry. How is he doing this?
Again and again, this guy seems to really have that nailed down to a T, just taking down the counter-terrorist, playing on triple stack, and that's actually a really good skill to have. As we actually see Crazy Kraken tapping away Warbirdie there, they know his exact location, and that is going to lead to his demise. Matty not having any problem finding that frag. Jaws, nice and quick with the AWP there. E-Zone finds a frag as well. And it looks like Rob Ferreira, at least on Mirage, have certainly been a cut above NHS.
It really does look like it. Unfortunately for Nelspruit, yeah, I think the map knowledge probably just isn't there and on CT side, and it is one of the more difficult maps to play CT side. While most teams, good teams, will win the counter-terrorist side on this particular map, you do find that you need to have an inordinate amount of coordination because that
Yes.
A side is so difficult to hold on to.
Yes, especially against a team who has at least a basic idea on how they want to take it. But just going back to a point you made in a couple of sentences ago about Nelspruit, I think it's really great that we've actually pushed the scene now to where areas like Nelspruit are getting exposure. We've had a LAN there recently as well. Normally it used to be just the Durban, Cape Town, Johannesburg regions, Pretoria as well that would get the mix.
Not even that lately. It's been Johannesburg only.
Yeah,
hasn't it?
exactly. So, I mean, the fact that we've...
And another entry there.
yeah,
with Jaws.
great shot there. Jaws not wasting any time. He's found so much success on this A bomb site. And he's going to be looking for some more. The lineup there with the Org. He's going to find the triple dynamite dropper this time. Absolutely dropping the pain as he does get the triple kill. And that is really important for them because if they had lost this round as well, they were certainly in the dumps.
Absolutely. E-zone. Is it going to be easy for him? I don't think it's going to be. They're probably not going to peek him or give him any sorts of opportunities. Yeah, one would hope.
Yes, one would hope.
One would hope.
But, I mean, these guys are hyped now. They've just nearly won the round. You can see they want to peek T-Ramp. There goes Mr. Ambassador slowly making his way around the corner. And he doesn't want to lose his head here because a 1 versus 4 and a 1 versus 3 is a very, very different story. In fact, what it could mean is it's the difference between having 2 players grouped up on a site and the one in mid and the one on B, as opposed to the split 1-1-1 across all 3 different areas. E-zone going to be going for the re-peak. He's got lots of players to deal with there. He's going to be able to find the one, and now all of a sudden, oh, I had faith there. But not going to work out.
You heard the faith in his voice, guys. He was feeling it. He was feeling it. And for the CTs, finally they add to their tally 2 rounds. They had 1.
Yeah, but look at this, Mike. You can see Ambassador investing in an MP7 for himself where he has teammates that could be dropping rifles. And that's just one of those things that these guys are going to have to learn and incorporate into their gameplay in order to take it to the next level.
Absolutely. We saw a bit of a communication failure earlier as well where one player bought and the rest didn't. So
Yes.
is this going to be an AUG versus an AWP? What? The AUG wins? That's not supposed to happen.
Yeah, that is quite an interesting one. NBK would be happy with that result, but not many other players, as Dynamite Dropper looks to be going back for more. He's going to take down E-Zone as well. 1 by 1, peeking out with the AWP, and the same result as Esteban locks down Connector. And all of a sudden, looking a little bit frayed here are Rob Ferreira, as they are down to 2 players up against the remaining 4.
Yeah, that's actually a great turnaround here for NHS. They've struggled in this game so far, and maybe they just needed somebody like Dynamite Dropper to drop some dynamite lessons. Beautiful entry, knows the angle there perfectly.
Yeah, unfortunately, the gun barrel just sticking out there for Crazy Kraken. Very interesting angle to be taking with the AWP, I must add. But no harm, no foul at the end of the day. And we can see the bomb does go down on the B-bomb site. So they lock it down. 1 player at Broken Wall, 1 player in the apartments, and the retake starts to come through here. Esteban, does he check his immediate corner? He's got the AWP. No, he does not. That allows Sins to get the frag. The support comes through from Jaws as well, and Ambassador now the only player remaining with the AWP. He's looking to make an entry through long, but the jig will be up as soon as he gets the shot. He does have the kit to work with as well as the double flash, but he's just letting the time go too much to have an opportunity. And wow, in the end, Rob Ferreira is still making work of the 2v4, and they actually walk away with the round.
I don't believe this. This should not have happened.
No.
It really should not have happened. I don't know how they allowed that. NHS need to do better, guys, if you do watch this VOD.
What's going on, Dan?
Yeah. What is going on?
I'm not sure how many people will get
No,
that
no, they
reference,
wouldn't.
but you did, so
Yes,
that
I
still
did.
counts.
So, of course, round 14 here in this show match here between Rob Ferreira and Nelspruit, NHS. We would say Hoërskool, but, unfortunately Matt is a bit English, so we don't want the wrong word to come out
And
here.
by a bit, he means, like,
A lot.
incredibly. So I'm just going to continue saying high school, and then nobody will be offended. As we have got another A hit coming through here from Rob Ferreira. Interestingly enough, NHS are pushing very aggressively behind you, so they have all the information that it is going to be the A hit. All fat and all the trimmings coming through as they do throw the smokes and the flashes. The entries begin. Matty does spot the player on top. Nice shot there by him. It does get answered by Ambassador, and that's going to be traded out by Jaws as he continues to make his way forward towards the stairs here. They're going to have to be careful on the flank, but the A bomb site is now completely in their control. Bomb goes down. Although, as I said, nobody taking care of behind them. And that's going to allow Crazy Kraken with an opportunity. He lines up his shots. He does tap away, finds the first. That's a good entry. They may have an opportunity to get Sins here as well. He's up close. The CZ woofs a little bit, but in the end, still comes through with the kill.
Yeah, unfortunate for them there that everybody in the site went down. And still getting a kill there. I don't know how Crazy Kraken's doing that considering the equipment that he's got. But he will get put down there. And that will be the second last round of the half. 12-2 here. And as you were saying, that flank could have been really big. The problem, unfortunately, is with everybody in the site going down, it just didn't delay the site take quite enough to enable that flank to be effective. I think,
yes,
3 more seconds there, and that flank could have stung.
Completely agree with you. So that's the situation where the CTs need to identify. They need to buy time and rather just fall back towards CT and jungle and connector and just try and keep the terrorists entertained a little bit longer. Oh, Jaws just with the easy peek there into snipers, taking down the friendly cyborg. Once again, that's going to be complete mid-control now for the terrorists. And even though it seems like NHS have identified a bomb site as clearly the problem and they're stacking 3 players there, which is quite an uncharacteristic thing to do, there's still just no way for them to be holding the site, just getting picked off and absolutely obliterated here. E-Zone finding one as well as Warbirdie, and that's going to leave Ambassador. He's actually got himself in a decent position here. He should try shut the plant down, and that's all it's going to be, as he finds himself one, leaving his teammate Crazy Kraken in the 1 versus 4.
That is an interesting way for that.
Wow. Okay, I mean, if he gets skill points at least for the way that his ragdoll ended up.
Yeah, I haven't seen that a lot, but it looks like it's going to be rounded out. That is the half, folks. We're going to be going into the second half pretty soon. But there, Rob Ferreira on their map choice Mirage, they are absolutely stomping NHS.
And it's also quite a team performance coming out from them. Not really one person going crazy. Of course, Jaws and Matty having great games, or great half so far. But a good team effort coming out from them.
Yeah, indeed. They're looking pretty dialed in. And that A site, I kind of feel there for NHS that they probably needed to move the player off triple because... Yeah. He was just getting picked. No matter who it was, no matter what weapon they had, that AWP on the NG was just taking them down. I think they needed to maybe change their sight hold a little bit just to knock the terrorists off guard because they knew exactly to expect somebody a triple. You could see the AWP coming out there and picking that player pretty much round after round. I mean, we never really saw any early HE grenades there as well to try and counter that aggression, or maybe some Molotovs to keep them at bay for that much longer. So these are things that they can go back, identify as problems, and come through in their next game and make sure that they have rectified them. And I mean, you really hope they do that because that's going to be their development, right? So it's just one of those things that someone needs to identify these problems, and somebody like a coach would be ideal, to actually get the experience to hear that, parents,
give them the input for experience that they need, because these guys have got the mechanics. It's all about now the game sense and just the decision making that needs to get enhanced.
Absolutely, and this, like any other sport, it really is about the technical details, the strategy that's involved, not just the individual skill of the players. So you can do things to counter the other team if you've got some strategies and tactics in your back pocket. And they probably needed it. So let's see if they've got that on the terrorist side now. It's the attacking
nice
side.
Smoke, yeah. We're going to be putting it at the top of Catwalk while the rest of them, all 5 of them, make their way into the apartment. So it is going to be the barrel out into the B-bomb side. Leading the charge is the friendly cyborg, E-Zone. He's going to be able to tap down one through the flash, and support has come through from his team. A good read here means that there are a multitude of counter-terrorists, and Jaws is just tapping away. He does see the remaining player, or at least only one of them, at Van. He doesn't expect the second. Esteban is good for 2. He's going to need to find himself 3 more. The ace clutch. This would be absolutely legendary for him. And he's going to tap away onto Warbird. He comes away with the headshot somehow. E-Zone incredibly close, but the USP will prevail. And that's 14-2, Mike. They couldn't afford to let that pistol round go.
No. If I had to criticize there for the terrorists, though, 3 of them had upgraded pistols, which meant they didn't have armor, and I think that's maybe too much of a sacrifice. Typically on terrorist side, you're going to upgrade the pistol on one player because the default pistol, the Glock, is not that good. Yeah. You'll upgrade one player to a P250.
Generally, yeah.
And not more than that. And I think with what they did there, they just didn't allow themselves to be able to take any of that damage on the cross there from the USPs.
I mean, I've been a bit of an advocate for quite a lot of equipment on the T side of a pistol round, going against what you said about the armor.
Or maybe 2 players.
Especially at a higher level CS, because normally you die to the one-taps of the USP. As we see Lead Pro NHS, actually with some nice entries onto the A-bomb side, they even out the numbers here do Rob Ferreira to the 3 versus 3. Jaws looking for another with that Desert Eagle. They've got 2 pistols on
there's a gap.
on Rob Ferreira. He's going to go straight through the smoke with the 5.7. He's able to find one, and he does buy space for E-Zone to come through as well. Fortunately, though, for Dynamite Dropper, he has had his teammate his teammate has put the bomb down. So he doesn't need to do that immediately. He's going to catch E-Zone on the cross, but he's got no health to work with. Still, he's able to react quick enough and take down Jaws. So, finally, a bit of light towards the end of the tunnel there. Or, I mean, maybe not light, but
a glimmer of hope. Just a spark. There was just a spark there.
Alrighty. Well, they'll take it at this point.
Great round out of them. Yeah, I think based what we were talking about before, based on the side take they went for on B, you're going to catch a lot of crossfire in there. So, if they went A, I think what they did would have been perfect, with the extra smokes.
Yeah.
But that B side, it's just a meat grinder, man.
Yeah. Especially when you're going up against a team that maybe does have superior aim to yours, you would rather rely on tactics more heavily than you do on those duels. As we see, it's going to be another A play here, and all 5 of them pushing through ramp. It's going to be good cross cover coming out. They find the first frag onto Sins. The rotations come through, but they are quite a while away at this point. They haven't identified that they've got an enemy, Mr. Matty, behind enemy lines, and he's just going to be waiting for his teammates to come through. He does spot the first, and unfortunately, Dynamite Dropper is too quick to the party.
Jeez, he had a golden opportunity there, and it was kind of fluffed. But still, I was going to say it's a 2v3 now. Unfortunately, 1v3, and they know exactly where he is. You'd think the friendly Cyborg is going to put him down here, or at least give him a hard time. But he's dancing.
Yeah, he's not making it easy for them. In the end, they do go down 14-4 being the scoreline, and probably another eco going to be... No, right. I think they can actually force out a buy here. Matty will be reduced to an SMG, perhaps, but... Looks like they're going to be making the... No, okay. It's just too difficult. I'll just let them make their decision and then cast. And
that's a very late buy,
but it's not even a full investment. A couple of their players... Wow.
No armor on an SMG? That is an odd choice.
Yeah, and he's also still got about $2,000 in the bank, so I'm not 100% sure what's coming out here. Looks like there was a double smoke on Catwalk. No, that was just the one. All right, so 5 AKs across the board. Certainly... The advantage is in the favor of NHS at this point, at least in the weaponry department, as they've got mid-control here, making their way up pretty aggressively. Going to be getting the angle on Catwalk, which is really important to try and get through connector. This is always a person who's going to be giving you hassles. As you can see, Warbird, does come through with one. Oh, Matty coming through with support as well. The scout from Jaws, and all of a sudden... Only one player left. Dynamite Dropper going to be asking his team what just happened. Where did everyone go?
How did that happen? I mean, the buy was there for the terrorists. The CTs just cobbled it together from scraps and...
Lack of armor, equipment, didn't make a difference at the end of the day. And that's just maybe a overconfident player coming out there from the terrorists.
Yeah, potentially. So going into what might be the last round, 16 is what we're looking for to win the first map before we go to map 2. And, well, the buy for the... Ooh, I was going to say the buy for the terrorists is not ideal. It's not ideal when you lose 2. Jaws is on an absolute tear on this game.
Yeah, that's where you can't just be peeking out 1 versus 1 into an AWP. You need to jump across and have somebody swing narrow, or you need to have a flash coming out or a smoke to give you cover. Dry peeking into the AWP is never a fun thing to do. Warbirdie, he's got the wraparound, even though he fluffs a couple of shots, not going to make a difference. And, well... By the nature of the map changing to Dust 2, I'm sure you can deduce what transpired at the end of the round.
Yeah, that would be a map change thanks to the fact that there is a slight delay on the broadcast.
Yeah.
So if the players don't wait for the cast, then what happens is it switches over the map.
Do you remember how often this used to happen when we used to cover games? It would be every single time, it would be 13-13 and then the map would change or whatever.
You're like, oh man,
you don't even know who won sometimes.
Who won?
Yeah.
This time we do know who won.
This time it's fairly obvious who won. So, what an entertaining first game, I must say. Rob Ferreira bringing the heat and not wasting any time kicking off here as they do pick up a first win. 16-4 was the scoreline at the end there.
Yeah, that was a very emphatic scoreline as well, you got to say. It really looked good for them. So,
as you did note at the beginning, though, that was Rob Ferreira's map pick. Heading into Dust 2, we may be allowed to expect a little bit more coming out from Nelspruit High School.
Yes, I see what you did.
As soon as I said Nelspruit, Mike looks at me with these eyes like, be careful.
Don't get it wrong.
Don't get it wrong. No. Can't get it wrong when you say high school. Anyway, guys, I think we're going to jump into a short break now.
Yeah, we'll jump into a short break as we wait for the players to come back, and we'll get going on the second map as soon as everybody's ready. Do stick around. Appreciate you guys being here. If you're enjoying it, like and subscribe and send me a basket of fruit because I'm hungry.
I'll have biscuits.
Thanks, guys. See you in a few.
get to all the things that we fear. Let's make this nightmare last forever. Stare deep inside the eye of a fever. You call my name. We always search for something more. You come to me. You use your weapon and blow my brains. It's your deepest fear. You're shaking again. Lock up all the doors. Make me feel a sin. Pour the windows. Make sure no one is near. Open up your mind. Bandage up your wrists. Don't put up a fight. You have a sickness. Say my name 3 times. I'll be right here. Let's make this nightmare last forever. Stare deep inside the eye of a fever. You call my name. We always search for something more. You come to me. You use your
And we're back, and we're live, and we're ready to go. Thanks everybody for sticking around. I cannot believe that 30 people earlier were watching School CS in the middle of the day. I'm Extremes, and I'm joined by Haz. We're on map 2 here, ready to go. The first map was taken there by Rob Ferreira. They looked absolutely dominant, and now we're on the map pick here of NHS. NHS on the CT side.
Yeah, and that was their choice as well after winning the knife round. So, interestingly enough, if you've managed to catch any of the international scene from Dust 2, it seems to be quite heavily CT-sided, I must say. A lot of success on the CT half, lots of comebacks as well. So we're going to have to see how that pans out here. It is NHS to find the first and the second frag of the start of the second map. So that puts them in good stead here. They're going to need a solid map coming out, and this is not the response they would have wanted after starting the round so well. Losing 3 players. They are going to have a quick retake coming through here. Both of the guys coming through short. One of them on armor, and that is going to be a pick onto Sins. Oh, and another nice shot there from Crazy Kraken, taking E-Zone, and it leaves Matty in a 1 versus 2 here, and he's going to get taken down by Crazy Kraken as well. So here, as I said, Dust 2's this guy's map, dude. He's living up to the word.
Yeah, going crazy, absolutely crazy. Triple kill, and he also gets himself the defuse. So saving the round there for his team. And overall, you got to say that's the start NHS needed. They were absolutely smashed on the previous map. And now on their map choice, they needed that. They needed to start right, and they did.
Yes, exactly that. It's always important to get off to a good start after you've been thrashed, because it just puts that first map to bed, and you can really get it going on your map here. As Dynamite Dropper has seen his teammate Crazy Kraken do so well with the USP, he wants to replicate that performance as well.
I don't know about that. That's probably a bad idea.
Interesting smoke there from Warbirdie, just maybe trying to...
What was that?
I'm not sure, Mike. No flash to go through it either. Maybe just trying to set up a bit of a bait. Interestingly enough, or fortunately for Dynamite Dropper, there's no head armor on any of the terrorist players. And...
Oh. Well, they're trying some kind of stuff.
Yeah, let's go to him. Maddie's number 7. Nice. No, not working out. Smoke's gone as well. These guys are trying super hard. So that's what the smoke was for, at least. We figured that one out. In the end, it doesn't come to fruition. As, now they've lost a player down to 19. They've got no map control, and they are sitting ducks as Warbirdie does get tapped away.
Oh, the flank coming in here, hoping to find something. Did he communicate to his teammate?
Wondering that as well. His teammate nonchalantly running out into middle. Jaws does still go down. Esteban putting him to bed with that UMP, which gives him a nice little cash boost. And shouldn't be much longer before the rest of the frags are found. We're going to see that USP coming through now, and as I noted, no head armor on the terrorists means it is going to be the one tap to bring him to the grave. As we've got 1 player remaining. He's managed to pick up the UMP at least, but he's got 4 players within his vicinity. The reload going to be the perfect cue for Crazy Kraken to go through, and he does pick up the frag. So 2-0, great start here for NHS, but it is going to be the bye for... it should be the bye.
Should be the buy, yes. They're taking a while to deliberate about it. And actually, why are they buying pistols? That is...
They got the plant and they fully saved in the second round, which generally insinuates that they're going to commit in the third round by considering they got that plant. But not to be, interestingly enough.
Yeah, guys, I
They
don't
want
know.
the triple AWP.
Maybe they do want the triple AWP, but yeah, a couple of fundamentals going a little amiss here, I think, for Rob Ferreira. And actually in the previous round as well, we had that player on the USP, which could have been a big thing. And somehow, since getting a kill at long range with nothing but a Glock, and now Esteban under a lot of pressure here. He's dealing with it pretty well so far, though.
Oh, 1 by 1 peeking. This is just so problematic here for Rob Ferreira. They need to be going through here as a team and covering one another, double peeking the player. Eventually, Esteban gets a little bit inquisitive. He does swing out and he gets taken down. So some decent damage so far done by the terrorists, but they would love to get another frag now before the round does end. And it looks like there's going to be some pressure coming through here. E-Zone actually gets the 1 tap onto Ambassador. Crazy Kraken there to support, and they know that E-Zone is here as well. Just a matter of time before he gets taken down, especially considering the flank. But flank not needed. 3-0 is the scoreline, and now we should see the buy coming through. Is it 3 AWPs? 1, 2.
Oh,
E-Zone's going to buy one. It's guaranteed. Absolutely guaranteed E-Zone's going to get AWP. Or Warbirdie. Yeah, okay, it was Warbirdie. So the triple AWP does come through once again on the T side. And, I mean, this is probably a map that we could advocate for the triple AWP a little bit better than the rest of the maps, or Mirage at least. You could play an AWP towards B, just watching the tunnels. You could play one in middle, and you could play one in long fairly effectively. But still not something that is a popular choice amongst the top teams in the world.
yeah, I don't know about that, hey, but a lot of pressure coming here on Esteban. He dinks 1 player.
Nice. That's
a nice bit of damage, yeah?
Yeah, that is a nice softener onto the terrorists before the push does come through. Dynamite Dropper holding the angle with the rifle is going to be bested by the AWP. That's certainly not a challenge you want to be taking in the A-long area, and that is going to prompt the terrorists to continue pushing forward here. Esteban, he's going to be swinging wide. He takes himself down a second, but he is going to be traded out. Looking to go for the dry cross here. Great shot there by Maddie onto Crazy Kraken. Does get brought down to 9 HP, but certainly the job done on his behalf. And the remaining 2 players, well, they're going to be splitting up, one through long and one through short.
Nade could have done more damage than it didn't. The fire somehow killing 2 of them. I don't know what they were doing in the site there, but they go down. Warbirdie, the only one left alive here, and somehow...
Oh, he
Friendly
hasn't...
side-
What is
What?
going on? The flash had kept Warbirdie completely blind, and that leaves Sins in the 1 versus 2. He gets the op, and he's actually going to come out with it. What a comical series of events playing out in front of us, ladies and gentlemen. And in the end, it is Rob Ferreira to come out on top.
Wow, the comedy round again there coming out. I'm not really sure how to react to that, but...
You just got to laugh, smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave.
Yeah. I think at this point for these teams as well, the map has been relatively recently introduced into the map pool. It's an old map in Counter-Strike terms, but these are very young players. So
Good point, Mike.
I don't think they would have had that much time on the map to really figure it out. And Sins getting himself a nice pick there. Warbirdie on the angle. He could find somebody with a 1 dig, and he does.
Yeah.
Great shot.
And that's also going to be a rifle for him. He didn't have enough money to buy a weapon, so he's now going to be able to salvage that after the 1 dig. And there is 2 players rotating out of the B bomb side only now, so they are going to be late to the party. Dynamite Drop is going to have to get a world of work done. Unfortunately, he's not even good for a single frag, but he does buy enough time for Ambassador to come to the party with that AWP as he picks up 2 frags for himself.
Bomb does go down. Switching to a more open plant. Probably a call from a teammate. No, move the plant there.
Yeah, I was, especially considering he's in long, that was a good decision there.
But now the position he's sitting in, I'm not so sure of, though. He's quite exposed if somebody were to come from short there. It's not going to be anybody from short. It's CT players that are going to get taken down, and he's very lucky there.
Yeah, very, very much so. I mean, he was completely in the open, as you noted. So that's, again, one of those decision-making aspects that they're going to have to try to develop. And, I mean, I could see how far a coach could go for these guys in the early stages of their career. You can see that they've got the aim. These guys are actually landing decent headshots, decent flicks. They've got the one-taps with the USPs and the Glocks. They just need somebody to help them make these decisions of... You could see Warbirdie in that situation had a Desert Eagle when one of his teammates had 4K. There was no AK drop for him, so they haven't got that into their gameplay. And it's small things. They just need to be taught once.
Yeah, of course, NHS do have themselves... Ooh,
look at that. That's
look
just
at that
a
shot.
jiggle peek. Nice shot there from Warbirdie. He follows it up with the second one as well. Tapping heads away here. Support comes through from Matty. And before Lead Pro NHS can even consider what's just transpired, they're down to 2 players.
Yeah, they are getting destroyed at the moment again. Of course, they are still in the lead, but that's going to change. It's going to be 3 all here, and they took a lot of pain on the previous map, so they would look to be striking back here. It's just that once the buy rounds have come in, it's not gone all their way at all, and they'll look to save that single rifle. That's going to be all they can take in the way of a victory from this round.
Yeah, this was an eco though, was it for them, I believe?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So how's their economy looking going into the next? Oh, Dynamite Dropper may have invested a little bit too heavily, and a couple of the players are sub 2,000, so if they sub $2,000, that is. So if they do decide to go for the buy, it's not going to be the best one, and they may actually end up getting stuck in a bit of a cycle.
Yeah, that's of course you do want to keep about 2,000 in the bank at this sort of point, just to they're trying to take the gun away from him, and
they're
that's a
going to.
disaster
Yeah.
for them. Maddie will take him down, and Crazy Kraken not able to hang on to that. And if you look at their economy there, you need about 4,000 to just have the bare minimum. And looking at the money that these players have, Ambassador buying up first, the others not initially purchasing either. I think something's going awry in terms of the calling here for NHS.
Yeah, Friendly Cyborg gets caught on the cross by that AWP as well, and this type of weaponry is certainly not favorable, especially on a map like Dust. There's so many long-distance duels that go on. You really don't want to be stuck with shotguns and SMGs, especially, as I said, if you're playing towards that A-bomb site, as we do see the first frag going the way of Rob Ferreira, and the push is going to continue forward here by Matty. Oh, what a shot there by George, just preempting the movement. He does get the bang through the box, and unfortunately a frag does go NHS's way through Crazy Kraken, and Rob Ferreira actually haven't been able to get across here, but Eason and Warbirdie teaming up to pick up a couple of frags and pretty much solidify this round. The Friendly Cyborg, the only man remaining in a 1 versus 2, also only 13 points of HP to his name, is going to be making things a little bit difficult for him. and that's putting it
Mildly.
lightly. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. If you are just joining us, of course, you may be used to seeing things like ESEA Advanced out of Europe and things like that on this channel, but now you're seeing School CS, which is a first of its kind event here, and well, getting 1 kill there is the friendly Cyborg. He probably shouldn't be going for this considering the time and the HP, but still feeling confident, and he's going for it, and actually Sin's missing the shot. So he could get caught out here, and whoa, that should not have happened.
He's
What?
got it.
What?
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got it. That is absolutely massive mistakes coming out there from
Head in
Rob
hands,
Ferreira,
man.
yeah.
Head in hand stuff.
Well played comes out from Maddie, but I think it was more a lack of well played from his own team, as that's certainly an unwinnable situation made winnable. Triple AWP once again, if that was never a solution.
Oh, geez, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Again, we don't mean to be critical of the teams. It's more just a case of fundamentals of the game. If they go back and watch this, they can perhaps learn a thing or two that we're mentioning. We have casted a lot of top-level stuff, so we'd like to make sure that these guys get something out of it when they watch it. And we hope that you guys are getting something out of it too, that you're enjoying the cast and the stream. And at the moment, NHS still in the lead here.
Oh.
And a nice shot from Esteban.
Yeah, Esteban seems to be locking down long fairly well here. He's landed a couple of good shots on the players who are crossing towards that pit area, and now he's got an AWP to take the duel as well. Ooh, just spots the cap of the player, but and he goes back for the repeat. This time Ezone is going to come out on top, so evening the numbers out 4v4 again, but Dynamite Dropper is there to immediately respond, takes down the short player. He actually comes good for... Oh, he doesn't, in fact. I thought he did get a second, excuse me. As we're down to the 2 versus 3. There are no smokes for the players to cross through long. And the fact that Sin's gone down has made that much more difficult for Jaws, but he's still able to come back with the AWP. What are you doing?
Wow.
That was insane. A 1v3 clutch. He lands all his initial shots. It wasn't even that badly played by NHS, as they were holding the angle, waiting for him to cross.
What?
That was well played, man.
Jeez, Maddie was getting super excited over here, guys, jumping out of his chair. That was some crazy stuff out of Jaws, and he was so good on that previous map, so it's good to see him coming in with that form again. And of course, as we said earlier, if you win one round as CT side and then you lose the next one, almost certainly you're going to be on a save, and we see that playing out here. Looking for something and finding only a headshot from Maddie in response.
Running straight out with his knife afterwards. The confidence in this guy is exuberating in every element of this stage, as he's going to close out the round as well with a nice shot onto Ambassador there, and that should be putting Rob Ferreira into some really good stead.
Jeez, got to catch some breath
After
from
that
2
one,
rounds
I've
ago.
been sitting reminiscing on that, so I've missed that whole round that just transpired. Not that I missed much, as evidently they are going to be ecoing once again here. NHS, that is.
Yeah, double save. That's also, of course, how things tend to be. The CT side is a little bit more expensive for the equipment than the T side, so you very seldom see double saves on T side, but yeah, double save, unfortunately, for the CTs, and they're going to be going down. They don't have the equipment to deal with the weaponry here, just dropping like flies. Nothing they can really do. And if they even get a single kill here, I'd be surprised.
Yeah, that's generally how these eco rounds end up transpiring, as you alluded to. Really not difficult, rather incredibly difficult to get any work done with the USPs. As I said, a lot of long distance duels on this map as well, which increases the difficulty, as we are going to have another buy coming through here for Elite Pro NHS, and a very important buy at that.
Indeed. Both sides we see Crazy Kraken and Matty both on 11. They're doing pretty well. I think for NHS, the issue there is Ambassador and Dynamite maybe lagging behind. Dynamite had one highlight round, but that's the only sort of highlight that he's had. They need a little bit more out of those players, yeah. They're chasing the game a bit, of course.
I like that they've identified that they've been struggling at long. As you can see, they've shifted 2 players there, and they've thrown themselves early Molotovs just to make sure that the terrorists like Matty can't rush out there instantaneously. But it's about how they adjust going into the rest of the round now. You can see they've still got 2 players stacked towards long, and it looks like Rob Ferreira have got a short take coming through here.
Oh, that's going to sting.
That's a double nade, is it, I believe?
Doesn't quite land, though. That's
Alrighty.
interesting. So a bit off the mark, but players swarming all over here, and E-Zone gets himself an easy kill. There's Esteban in the bomb site, and he's really low. They should take him down, one would think. He's forcing the issue here, and he's actually inflicting a lot of damage. Still alive as well, and nearly gets himself a kill, but not able to round it out. Ambassador.
Whoa.
Ooh, that is a dangerous fight to go for.
Yeah, the USP up against the AK, and he nearly comes out on top as well. There's quite low HP on 2 of these players, so he just needs to land a couple of shots. Oh, he got the player on high HP. Unfortunately, not able to transfer onto the second. Crazy Kraken will close it out, but he's still in a 1 versus 2 E-zone. Very aggressive here. And that Molotov is going to be blocking out... Well, actually, not incredibly well thrown, so Crazy Kraken may have a gap to work with. He's got the kits, he's got the AWP, but he doesn't have time, and he's going to walk straight into the crosshairs of E-Zone, so the buy round not going to be coming through for Elite Pro NHS, unfortunately.
Yeah, and the money absolutely in the toilet.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Not a position you want to be in. 7-4 down, and not only that, but 3 of those rounds they picked up were pistol round and the 2 ecos thereafter. Or anti-ecos, rather.
Yeah, that's true. They've really struggled in the buy rounds, yeah, unfortunately for them. 7-4 at this point. Rob Ferreira there on the T side. That's the yellow that you see there. And the blue, of course, the CT side, the defensive side. And that is NHS, the Nelspruit team. And that headshot
nice.
from Allbirdie, and he's going to round it out as well. Very nice work. And Julies, I'm not sure about that buy from Esteban.
Hey man, Esteban, he doesn't need to play conventional Counter-Strike. He's a doorkeeper. Just so anybody, I mean, these guys he may not even know who Esteban is, at least in my life. I'm sure there's millions of Estebans out there, especially, I don't know, Eastern Europe maybe. But if you can go back far enough, Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, the doorman used to be called Esteban, and he was like one of the funniest characters ever. So I don't know if maybe that's the inspiration. Regardless.
Showing his age as in lack of age.
Yeah, I mean... Finally making some references here, man.
Well, we do thank you guys for joining us. Of course, this is a show match. It's a schools match. Again, maybe not what you'd used to be seeing on this channel, but we really thought it would be a good idea to do something like this with the guys from Elite Pro. They had that awesome LAN in Nelspruit, the 1337 LAN earlier this year. And it was such a successful event. I just can't say no to Jan. He's such a nice guy.
Yeah, I mean, Elite Pro have been really the highlight of 2018 for the South African scene. I think it has to be said, for a year which has been quite dry so far in terms of events and leagues and tournaments. Elite Pro has been one of the shining lights, and I think that's great. Very exciting, and I love this idea of giving exposure to the grassroots of our Counter-Strike scene, as we have got a decent round coming out here for the NHS boys. Picking up the first 2 frags of the round and dropping Sins considerably low. Not going to be hampering the boys, at least not their spirits, from Rob Ferreira as they continue to push through Shortcha. They've got the 2-1 split, one guy just watching towards mid, and Sins has got that angle, just waiting for some sort of a peak to be coming through here.
Yeah, of course, and I'm sure some of you joining us from work, some of you at home already. It is Friday, of course, so we do appreciate all of you that's shown up. Earlier, I think we had 32 people watching, which to me, in the middle of the day for a schools game, I just don't understand it, but I thank you guys for showing up anyway.
Yeah, it just goes to show that there's a large audience out there, not all about the competitive scene. I guess it's a great exposure for players who maybe aren't as clued up on the game, because we've been discussing a little bit more amateur points just to explain the fundamentals of the game. So I think it's great. Anyway, getting back into it here, great advantage for NHS. AWP still holding mid. Ambassador, he's going to spot the cross there. He gets the second, but Matty instantly trading him out. And that's going to be blowing open the door in the middle area, as they've only got the friendly Cyborg here towards B. Matty's taken a player on A as well, but Esteban is there to respond with the AWP. Matty making his way swiftly towards the B bomb side, going through holes. He's going to be dealing up against the friendly Cyborg here, and he spots him out on the cross. Is he? Oh, unfortunately, the spray just not coming through for him. The friendly Cyborg makes it out on 8 points of health, and if Maddie had found that kill, things may have gotten a little bit iffy for Team NHS.
Rob Ferreira, please stop buying triple orbs. Please stop it.
Give it up, bro.
You're tilting me, man.
Give it up. There's nothing we can do about it. All 5 of their players AWP. I don't know if you've noticed, but
yeah,
they've been siphoning through on the triple AWP. I think it's a system where if you don't get a kill, it's the next person's turn, and you just have to like pass it on or something like that. We used to play that in COD. It was pretty fun because you were only allowed 1 sniper per team. Anyway. Another buy here for Team B. How much economy do they have left in the reserves to work with? Still, certainly another buy, even if they go on to lose this round. So, only 2 rounds remaining in the half, including this one. They should be good.
Yeah, you can see, I think, for both teams, yeah, it's pretty apparent that they're not that used to this map. again, for us, we've been playing it for years, but these players are a little bit newer than we are. And on the angle, I thought Jaws might have it. He was so successful in the previous map, and he does it again here.
Yeah, Esteban has certainly met his match, as Jaws has been prevailing most of the time from those Jaws dynamite dropper. He's got a large job to get done here. And look at this intuition from Jaws to clear behind the box. Make sure there's nobody playing from Goose. And he takes the player down instantaneously. Now holds the angle towards CT and locks down the A-bomb site as if it's Fort Knox.
Indeed, 5-2 here, and you gotta say the round should be gone. We have seen things go rather differently to what we expected, though, in these retake scenarios. And I think that's been a particular weak point for both teams in the post plants, that they haven't managed to always hold the bomb sites off that well. So in a 2v5, it's theoretically impossible. It looks like they're not going for it, but yeah.
Surprisingly.
Yeah, surprisingly. And he's going to probably only get one there. Making hard work of it is Warbirdie, but he does get it eventually.
Yeah, seems like the most simple frags is what he struggles with the most. As soon as it becomes complex, he's got no problem snapping up the opportunity. So 9-5, unfortunately, NHS not able to string some rounds together. And they, going into the final round of the half, are going to have a pretty insufficient buy to work with.
Indeed, so not helping out is their economy, but are they looking at... Oh, geez, that is the latest buy. I just thought they weren't going to buy. They had money and they waited right until the last second, so they're going for it. Of course, they do have a coach in the form of God Complex, but I'm assuming it's quite a new arrangement here for NHS, so things are not quite there yet. Warbirdie on the angle, going after the Deagle and switches weapons and gets the kill.
It's not even the first time this guy's done this, where he's got an AK on the back and he's opting to use the Desert Eagle, and before he even has an opportunity to consider making a movement forward, the round's over. They're all dead. What's going on?
Jeez, 10-5. Rob Ferreira dominating the scoreboard so far today. This is the second map. They won the first relatively easily. And this is, of course, a classic clash in the Lowveld region when it comes to these schools in rugby and cricket and all the sports. And I don't know, the Nelspruit fans might not be that happy with this.
Yeah, but don't you love it that this is the direction that schools are heading in, that we're actually having derbies between Counter-Strike teams? It's just, even when I was in school, it wasn't a thing. I mean, they had Mind Sports and we played Dota 1, but it's like the conditions and the environment just wasn't conducive for development. And now you've got these guys playing officials up against each other Friday afternoon. I think it's great because you've always also had that cloth of, or that group of guys at school who weren't necessarily sporty and didn't do the rudimentary sports like rugby and cricket, but now this opens up the door for those the people who are more linked or desire to play computer games. So I think it's really great.
It sounds like you're talking about us.
hey, I didn't say any names, but I am.
Yep, one of them. Love computer games in school as well. If this was something that was available to me when I was in school, it would have been amazing.
Yeah.
I loved playing Counter-Strike when I was in high school, and if I had this opportunity to actually play it at school, considering that you can make a career out of this potentially if you're good enough. I mean, it's going that way in South Africa. It's not there yet, but we've got guys like Sonic and Fady and JT who are overseas in America, and they're earning a salary and playing Counter-Strike. So
it may not be there yet, but it's closer than it has ever been before by a long way. And this is how old you want to be at this point in the South African scene, because once you start hitting those levels in 2 to 3 years, it's going to be primed to actually take it to that lifelong career. As we see, the friendly Cyborg pushing straight out. They're on the T side now. Elite Pro NHS. Nice tap there from Jaws. And Sins has got a lot to deal with here. He's not shy on taking the peak, constantly redueling. Somehow he's still alive. Crazy Kraken's gone all the way through shorts, and now he's going to be assisting. How is Sins still alive? E-Zone looking to rectify by taking control of the A bomb site once again, and it is just a matter of finding Dynamite Dropper, as he is alone in the 1 versus 3, trading out the CZ back into the Glock now. He's got the decoy to act as the flash, and now that they've spotted him out, not going to be wasting any time in taking him down. So again, the pistol round, which was all that important to NHS, is unfortunately not going to be going their way.
Yeah, and as you mentioned in that first half, NHS did manage to take the pistol round and the subsequent 2. So if you look at their score, really 5, considering they won the first 3 rounds in the first half, it's relatively unimpressive. They needed to do a little bit more on those buys, and Well, CT side, yeah, it's actually traditionally the weaker side on this map, but as you said, lately with the map, it's been where teams have been prospering, and Matty particularly prospering. Yeah, look at the HP on these players. He should be able to just mow them down.
Yeah, he's also got the perfect angle. I mean, he has killed a few of them, so the comms are going to be there, and in fact, Esteban does react quick enough, but Jaws is going to be the next player to capitulate. I mean, just pincering in on them is just a classic move coming through, and really no resistance whatsoever.
Indeed, 12-5, yeah, Rob Ferreira are in the lead, and in the lead rather handily. They won the first map easily as well, so they need this win, and they'll take it 2-0. If by some miracle NHS were able to get themselves back into this, and it's of course entirely possible, strange buy again coming in there, but
yeah,
it is possible. We could potentially find ourselves on that third map, which is cash, but yeah, I think a couple of fundamentals for both of these teams so far going a little bit awry, and I'd like to see them improving. That's a nice shot out of Jaws. He could actually round this player out. Friendly Cyborg, one of the two players with rifles, and he's already low.
Yeah, and he's actually not slowing down. He's gone very aggressively up short. Jaws still having a decent hold here towards middle. Important that he doesn't keep himself alive, mainly for information. Sin's going to be able to trade out the Friendly Cyborg, and there is going to be some support coming through here. Warbirdie with the UMP. Going to make sure that that scout player has support. So, again, not going to be finding any significant entries. It's not even like they're getting the bomb down or they're getting decent map control. They're really getting mowed down at the first sight of a counter-terrorist. And once again, an incredibly disjointed buy is going to be coming out of them.
Yeah, they got to tighten this up, man.
Yeah.
If you guys are watching it, don't worry, we don't want to bag on you. It's just more a case of try to buy together, because looking at that money, oof. The damage being dealt there. Jaws has been so dangerous with these scoped weapons, and he gets another kill. They're running through the fire, and Sin's just mowing them down. That nade should also reap a bit of damage too.
Esteban, he catches it in his mouth as he gets brought down to 56 HP. Maddie not going to be checking his corner there. Unfortunately, Esteban is going to prevail, and that's going to sign, or rather signal for the CTs to completely rotate towards the A bomb site. Doesn't look like NHS have got much of a read on this, so they are going to be continuing their trek forward as one of them gets taken down. Esteban looking for that Hail Mary jump play as he's continuing forward, and he's going to be able to catch Sins off guard, but it doesn't actually make much of a difference as he gets taken down. So really, once again, only finding a single frag in the round.
Yeah, NHS really struggling here, going for another buy. That's interesting that they've had rifles in 3 rounds in a row because of how, some players have been on pistols, some have been on rifles. But because of that, it means Ambassador finds himself on an MP7, which is less than ideal. And we've also got the AWP with no armor, so tough stuff. And he gets taken down instantly. Jaws is so strong with the AWP. They have not been able to shut him down today.
This combination of Jaws, Matty, Warbirdie as well, even E-Zone, I mean, since all 5 of these guys have actually been having their own little glimpses of brilliance. And it's actually a very... I'm surprised. I'm very pleasantly surprised to see how this game has transpired from Rob Ferreira's perspective.
These are some skilled players. Yeah, I really do think they could be really good with a bit of coaching, with a bit of structure, and at the moment they're just doing it based on pure skill, and the skill's working out magnificently for them. There's another kill for Sins as well. Crazy Kraken, the last man left alive here. He's still standing towards spawn, and that means he can be rounded on from a lot of angles there.
Catches an instant dink as well. He's going to go back for the shot onto Sins. That is a nice one, but certainly not expecting another player as close as Matty was. And that's going to lead it to 15-5 being the scoreline. And just going back to what you said earlier about how we're not completely tearing them apart. We're used to and comparing them to a very high caliber Counter-Strike, which obviously is not necessarily a fair thing to do, but it's all constructive what we're trying to portray. And as you said, if they do watch this back, they can take a lot away from what the suggestions we've made. Oh, nice shot there from Esteban. Counter-Strike, though, is a heavily based team game, and you want to make sure that you're not individually trying to keep yourself going, as we've seen individual buys and whatnot. It's really about the team performance. As we see them making their way through Cat, that Glock tears Matty absolutely from his neck, or rather he separates his neck and his head, as there's no A control for Team B whatsoever here. NHS, they've got the bomb down, and they've actually got a numbers advantage going into this defensive against the retake. Esteban going to be taking another one with that scout, so finally something coming to fruition for the terrorists here. But
shoots him in the knee, he's not going to be an adventurer anymore.
Yeah, is it not an arrow this time, just a bullet, and looks like it's going to be enough. Finally keeping the Rob Ferreira boys at bay here.
Yeah, but could it be too little too late? He's still going for it though. He probably needs to just hang on to the weapon. still going for it. And as I say that, I just had the thought, that sort of flashback of a few rounds ago. But
Yeah.
he does get taken down. It is map and match point here. Of course, 16 is where you want to be if you're Rob Ferreira to round out the series 2-0.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for NHS, they've got 9 map and match points to contest here if they want to take it to overtime.
And then to a third map on top of that. So a long mountain to climb, but this is a situation teams have come back from before. And it's something you need the character and the ability to come back from. You're going to find yourselves in these positions where you are down far. And the best piece of advice I can give is to just take it round by round. You put the scoreboard out of your mind completely and you just take it round by round, working together as a team, cutting out as much risk as possible and just playing off of one another to try and ensure that you do, as I say, minimize that risk.
Scout is still alive here. Oh, is he going to spot him there? That smoke is starting to dissipate. Flicks up. He is so quick as Jaws. He is such a good player at the moment. Lands a beautiful shot. And here we've got the friendly Cyborg being rather unfriendly with that weapon.
Oh man, you see, this is just a lack of cover coming out from the counter-terrorists at this point. I think 2 of the 3 players who have been killed so far have been killed in the back, just not expecting Ts to be coming from there or potentially expecting teammates to be covering them. So, unfortunately, Rob Ferreira not going to be closing out the game, or unfortunately for Rob Ferreira, they're not going to be closing out this buy round, or are they? Warbirdie landing a nice 1 dig there, but his support is fairly far away. And NHS finding a second consecutive round here.
Oh, E-Zone just finding himself flat-footed there as he runs around the corner with no weapon in hand. And let's look at the money situation here. Actually, not fantastic for the CTs.
Yeah.
Looks like they're still investing. Warbirdie has fully bought up here. I probably would have looked to save because they've got that many rounds in hand that they don't necessarily need to go for it.
Definitely agree with you on that one, Mike. It's one of those situations where you just put yourself, or rather just give yourself the best opportunity to close out the game, because you can get stuck in a bit of a rut and constantly force buying, saying we just need to pick up that 1 round. As we see the Elite Pro boys going straight into the B-bomb site, and an open B-bomb site at that. Warbirdie on the other side of the doors here is going to be the first responder, and he's got some support coming from Sins. Unfortunately for the friendly Cyborg, he saw that support and he thought he may be able to get himself an easy kill. Warbirdie there for the support, and now actually a great retake opportunity here for Rob Ferreira, as they're actually going to be coming 2 players through tunnels. They've got 2 players at the doors, 1 at the window as well, and a lot of work to get done here for NHS. They're going to be able to tap down 1, does Dynamite Dropper, but Sins responds instantaneously. We've got a bit of a spaz out here from the outside director, but Sins is able to pick up with another, the Desert Eagle. Crazy Kraken trying to keep the game alive, and unfortunately not going to be able to. And Mike, it's the eco round that closes out the game. I think that's actually a perfect ending, because it tells a pretty good story as to what's transpired in this best of 3 series so far.
Absolutely. It's been rather surprising stuff coming out. I think the skill level we've seen has been better than we were expecting. These players definitely have some great aim. We'll repeat it again. Need a bit more coordination and a little bit more tactics, but they are absolutely on the road.
Yeah.
I'm really happy to say that the quality of what we saw was quite good. It really was better than I was necessarily expecting, coming into this. But I'd like to say thanks to Elite Pro for the opportunity. As it says on the graphic there, for the first time ever, it was a show match between 2 schools in the region, Hoërskool Nelspruit and Hoërskool, I nearly got that wrong, Rob Ferreira. We're 2 very English guys.
Hoërskool Rob Ferreira High School.
Geez, that's
That's a bit of tautology if I've ever seen
redundancy.
it. Yeah.
But yeah, thanks to Elite Pro for the opportunity. I've been extremes. I've been with Hayes, Rob Ferreira, managing to close it out really convincingly, and I think really exciting. And we thank you guys for being here.
Yeah, Mike, exciting is the word I'd use as well, because it just goes to show we've got these up-and-coming players, and now they've got a little bit of exposure. These guys have never been on a stream, or they've been casted before, and that could just enhance their drive to push this game to the next level as a team or as individuals, whatever it may be. But as you said, a huge thanks to Elite Pro, because I think this is certainly something that is going to help give exposure and develop our community.
Absolutely. Props to them. Thank you guys, and thank you guys for tuning in.
Yeah.
Have yourselves a wonderful weekend, and we will see you on another cast some other time.
See you guys around. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.